There was once a blind man who carried a lamp, not because he needed it. He could not see. The lamp gave him nothing, but he carried it anyway, every night, walking through the village with a lit lamp in his hand. And people laughed at him, not cruelly, the way people laugh at something they find absurd. A blind man with a lamp. What could be more pointless than that? One evening, a young monk was walking back to his monastery when he nearly collided with the blind man on a dark path. The monk stopped, steadied himself, and then looked at the man in front of him with genuine confusion. "You are blind," the monk said. "Why do you carry a lamp? It does nothing for you." The blind man smiled, the smile of someone who has answered this question many times and does not mind answering it again. "It is not for me," he said. "It is for you." The monk stared at him. "The lamp is so that people walking toward me can see me," the blind man said. "So they do not walk into me in the dark. So they do not stumble. So the path between us is lit for both of us, even though I only benefit from half of it." The monk was quiet. "You carry a lamp for people who can see," he said slowly, "even though you cannot." "Yes," said the blind man, and he continued walking. The monk stood on the path for a long time after the blind man had gone. He thought about all the things he did for the sake of being seen doing them, all the kindnesses he had performed with at least one eye on whether anyone was watching, all the generosity that had a small thread of self-interest running through it. And here was a blind man, a man for whom being seen doing good was literally impossible, carrying a lamp for strangers in the dark. When the monk reached the monastery, he went to find the Buddha. He told him what had happened on the path. The Buddha listened to everything. Then he was quiet for a moment. Then he said something the monk did not expect. "The blind man understands something that most people with perfectly good eyes will never understand," the Buddha said. "What is that?" the monk asked. "That a good action does not need a witness to be good," the Buddha said. "The moment you need someone to see you doing it, you have already changed what it is." The monk thought about this for a long time. He thought about the lamp, about the simple, unseen, unwitnessed act of carrying light for people you will never watch benefit from it, about what it would mean to live that way, to do the good thing in the dark, quietly, without the lamp of other people's approval to guide you. The blind man never knew the monk's name. The monk never learned the blind man's name. But something passed between them on that dark path that the monk carried for the rest of his life. Long after he had forgotten 1,000 teachings learned in formal settings, he remembered the blind man with the lamp. And every time he caught himself doing something good while hoping someone was watching, he remembered, and he tried again. Here is what the Buddha is really asking through this story. How much of what you do, your kindness, your generosity, your patience, your effort, how much of it depends on being seen? Not completely. Most people are genuinely good. But there is usually a small thread, a part that is performing, a part that wants the credit, a part that does the good things slightly differently when an audience is present. The blind man had no audience, could never have an audience, and he carried the lamp anyway. That is the rarest kind of goodness, the kind that has no witness except the person doing it, the kind that doesn't change based on who is watching, the kind that is simply true. Here is the question I want to leave with you today. Think of one good thing you did recently, one act of kindness or generosity or patience. Now ask yourself honestly, would you have done it exactly the same way if you were absolutely certain no one would ever know? If the answer is yes, you are carrying the lamp. If the answer gives you pause, that pause is where the real work begins.